We are live.
All right, we are live. Sorry for the delay. Food came in just when we were about to go live, so a little delayed, but here we are.
Yep. All right.
Welcome to episode 10.
Dude, who would have thought we would have made it there? Who would've
Episode
thought?
10. It's crazy. Just
Getting bigger and bigger.
getting bigger and bigger. Got to just keep on that grind.
We'll wait till about, what do you say, like a minute till we get started?
Yeah. Just gonna finish this thing.
All right. A lot of stuff happened this week in sports, so should be a little exciting.
From the Little League to NFL, NBA,
Yep.
a lot of everything, even NCAA.
What's up, David?
Believe it or not. What is going on, David?
All right. Want to transition into topics?
All right, let's get going, man.
All right. So our first topic today, to start off today is very serious topic. Bronny James, as you guys know, a few days ago, collapsed while working out at USC, and it's very unfortunate for what happened. And I mean, prayers up for him. But great news is he's healthy, he's stable.
Yep.
Seems like he's back to normal.
Yeah,
he's out of the hospital.
Yep, he was spotted. He was spotted going to an event. So I'm very, 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 very thankful that he's doing well. Those college workouts, from high school to college, those workouts only get like 20 times crazier.
Yep.
And especially if the gym was like even slightly hot, it could force off anything can happen. And cardiac arrest, of course, Damar Hamlin went through that as well. So just prayers up for Bronny to just
and the
keep
James
getting
family.
Healthier. Yep,
Yeah,
and James family for just hope he keeps getting better.
Can we get a shout out to the USC medical staff?
Yes,
and everybody who helps get Bronny back to.
Everybody who's contributed to his work towards normal again. Now, of course, he seems normal already, so that's a great thing.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to Damar Hamlin,
it took him longer to get back.
It took him longer to get more stable, but then again, his was a little bit more serious, and there was more time between.
She said, "What happened?
What happened?" So, Bronny was in a USC basketball workout. One of the first weeks of college basketball prep, and he went into cardiac arrest. And the medical staff rushed over, did their thing, got him to the nearest hospital, and after that, it just kind of the process of healing happened. So he just went into cardiac arrest. So,
and I believe he got out of the hospital in 2-3 days.
Yeah, something like that. He's been out for like a day now. So
so it's great to hear that he's healthy again, and hopefully he gets back on the basketball court as soon as possible. And moving on to the next topic, a very unfortunate thing happened for the Dolphins a few days ago. Jalen Ramsey got injured in training camp. He collided with Tyreek Hill, and he's going to be out for 6 to 8 weeks is what?
His knee.
Yep. So, I mean, what does this do to the Dolphins? Of course, it removes an elite DB.
To help your best receivers practice for the real game.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate for what happened. You never wish anybody get injured or something or anything like that.
It also probably sets back the defense, the defense side of the ball, because Jalen Ramsey was their big add to the defense.
Oh yeah,
to take that to the next level, because they're going to have to compete with, the Bills, the Jets this year, and I don't even want to say anything like the Patriots. I mean, anybody can guard Juju Smith-Schuster, but
I think the big takeaway is now that teams will be able to target the side that he's on. And, of course, they have Xavier Howard on the other side.
Yep.
But now there's another side that's wide open. But if you have Jalen Ramsey and Xavier Howard on two different sides, then I feel like that's just a completely big game changer that people underestimate.
Yeah, and of course, cornerback is very hard to play, and to have probably the best at the position, there.
Yeah,
like his presence is definitely going to be missed.
Yeah,
for at least time being.
Prayers up though. Hope he gets better.
Hope he heals quick
Yep.
for the Dolphins at least.
I think when he comes back, he'll be fine. He'll be back to the type of player he is, because he's been really good in this league just because he doesn't get injured that much.
Yeah.
And I think this will just be a minor setback. And he'll be even better.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to suck for the Dolphins for a little bit, but then when he gets back, they'll be right back on track.
Yeah, definitely.
And then another injury that was unfortunate that happened 2 days ago. Joe Burrow. So in the clip, he's rolling to the right out of the pocket, and all of a sudden he just pulls up and starts grabbing his Achilles is what it looks like.
His calf.
Yeah, and then
Strained his calf.
I was gonna get into that. Yeah. And he's gonna be out for a few weeks. Is what it said. Nobody knows the timeline. Could be 2 weeks. Could be 8 weeks. They didn't exactly say.
Mm-hmm.
But at least he didn't blow his Achilles out or anything like that.
That's true. If he would have torn his ACL again.
Because when I first saw it, and he started like grabbing his like calf area,
it looked like he really tore something.
I thought he blew out his Achilles like a basketball player, but that's what you tend to see.
Because it kind of looked like, KD. Now that you say that,
yeah. Now when he fell down,
dropped the ball and
against the
was
Warriors.
hopping like that, against the Raptors. Dang.
Because they all have like the same reaction to it.
Yeah,
and it's unfortunate.
Just kind of like you don't want to even walk on it or anything. So
yeah, I mean, and I'm happy that it was only a calf strain rather than blowing out. Because if he blows out his Achilles, he can't play.
Because especially the Bengals too. The Bengals I think are in a stretch to where they have really high hopes.
Yeah,
and they could easily contend for a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And if Joe Burrow was out for a year, I mean,
that's just when you're down the tank.
Yeah, it would set them back a lot, and that'd be another year wasted of not getting another Super Bowl. Yeah, and
I think hopefully he'll be back by week 1.
Yeah, that's the hope. Yeah,
and I think it's a great thing that he's going to be able to return and be back full healthy is what it seems like right now.
Yeah,
but I'm just curious as to when he's going to actually return, because people don't seem worried, but maybe there's more that the internet doesn't know about.
Yeah,
and I think that could be an issue, but I think
it might also set back their offense.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because when you're losing a top 5 quarterback, top 2 quarterback, in my opinion.
Top 2. Yeah, I think top 2.
You're gonna digress no matter what, unless you have the best quarterback in the league, which is Patrick Mahomes.
Unless you have the best backup quarterback.
Yeah, and they don't. It's Jacob Browning and Trevor Siemian.
Yep.
So those are
They're
two
competing. At least they said Joe Burrow, it could stretch to week 1.
Yeah.
Which they play the Broncos, which the Broncos are hit or miss, depending.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if the Broncos are good, then that's 0-1 off the bat.
Yeah.
It's not how you usually want to start off a season.
But you can live with losing the first game and you still bounce back.
But then they play the Ravens the next week.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a tough 1-2 punch right off the bat. So hopefully they could have Burrow for that.
Yeah. So I think we covered the Joe Burrow situation, his injury and all that.
Yep.
All right. So moving on, Dalvin Cook is actually visiting the Jets today, if I'm not mistaken, right?
This weekend. Tomorrow. Tomorrow's is like the start of his trip.
Yeah, and
is what they're saying.
I saw a good amount of reports say that he very well could sign
this weekend.
And we are in the weekend, so
pretty much, yeah. So
I mean,
anytime now we could
honestly,
see
he could sign right now and we wouldn't know.
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, it would probably pop up somewhere, but
I don't think it will happen right now. But
no, it probably won't. But you never know; it's a possibility.
Yeah,
he's probably in New York currently, and I mean for the Jets, it's kind of like it's weird because I don't know why they would sign him because they have Breece Hall who's kind of on the up and rise. Like I know he just tore his ACL, but Breece Hall, he has a bright future, a really bright future. And, it's not like they have the worst backup running back to 1-2 punch it. Michael Carter isn't the worst possible option, but
see, I disagree with that take, if I'm being completely honest. In this league, you need 2 solid running backs because
I guess so, yeah.
You look at the position, running backs are always getting injured, and teams don't have a good back to really go to. Like, of course, you have like the backups who are decent, but they can't take it too heavy of a load. And if you can get 2 really good running backs, Breece Hall is going into his second year, was probably going to win Rookie of the Year if he kept playing at his pace.
Yep.
And you got a veteran in Dalvin Cook who's 28, I believe,
That's true. Yeah.
and he's got a good amount of years under his
I
belt.
kind of forgot about James Robinson leaving
Yeah,
to go
he's
to the
New York,
Giants.
yeah.
So if he was still there, then Dalvin Cook wouldn't make sense. But now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Just because Michael Carter's like 5'8".
Mhm.
Kind of forgot about that.
I don't think height really has it, because Michael Carter's still good, but
But
having Dalvin Cook and
But like Brees Hall's more of like a pass,
Mhm.
like pass, running back. If
Dalvin
you want
Cook's
that running, Dalvin Cook's more running
yeah,
than
and
catching.
I see no issue with having two good running backs. I think
But
that's a good
now-
problem to
Now
have.
it makes sense. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't really understand what you're saying that you
Yeah.
don't see it too much, but
Yeah. As I was thinking about, James Robinson being gone, that'd be a huge ad for the Jets. But
yeah. So I think
we'll see what happens.
I think the Jets, out of his top 3 teams that he said, I think the Jets would make the most sense.
yeah, or the
Dolphins?
Dolphins. Dolphins wouldn't be terrible, but like I don't.
I see why I think Dolphins or Jets would work. I wouldn't want to see him go to the Patriots because he'd just waste away another year
Yes.
for a team that's going to go 7 wins at best.
And I think they already have their 1-2 punch there, with Ramondre Stevenson and Damian Harris. I think that's a decent enough.
Mhm.
And Ramondre Stevenson, of course, what we saw from him last year, he could take a huge leap this year.
Yeah.
Which you don't want to prevent that with Dalvin Cook. If so, even another team that's been thrown out there is the Cowboys. Like, why wouldn't he sign with the Cowboys? Because Mike McCarthy has always talked about the Cowboys want a good run game, and they've always wanted like a perfect run game. And Zeke and Tony Pollard were supposed to provide that, but of course, what happened to that kind of.
I just think it'd be the most sense.
Sink. But yeah, the Jets, based off his list.
I just think it would make the most sense because you got Aaron Rodgers, who's new.
Yep.
He's a veteran quarterback, very big resume.
Yep.
And you can go to that where it's just the whole new Jets team, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
not a whole new Jets team, but Aaron Rodgers
Different
elevates
culture.
everybody.
Yeah, it's different culture.
And I think he's even helping Zach Wilson get better, but Zach Wilson has competition now to play against.
Mm-hmm.
So I think by Aaron Rodgers being there, I think that should just incentivize it even more for Dalvin Cook to go to the Jets.
And of course, the Jets' expectations this year are going to be pretty darn high.
Yeah,
So,
they're going to try to win a very competitive division, and then
Yep.
try to make a Super Bowl run.
I can't wait to see this division though. If Dalvin Cook signs with the Jets, that's going to be a division to watch right
Yep.
there.
So I think we covered everything on Dalvin Cook and the Jets. All right.
Yep.
And then moving on, Shohei Ohtani continues to absolutely impress me and make his way towards history.
Mhm.
So against the Tigers this last series, I was actually at the game on Wednesday where he was only batting. He didn't play great in that game. He actually didn't do much, but it was actually 2 days later on Friday, which was yesterday. In the first game, he hit a home run to get himself up to 38 home runs, which is on pace to break Aaron Judge's American League record from last year, where he had 62. And so he's on pace to break that still after hitting that home run.
Yep.
And then the next game, which was the same day as it was a doubleheader, he pitched a complete game shutout and gave up 1 hit against the Tigers. He was 1 hit away from giving up from getting a perfect game, actually.
That's crazy.
It just shows how dominant he is and why he should win the MVP in general.
Yes.
AL MVP, he's the best player in baseball by far.
Honestly, if he doesn't win the MVP, then
Something's rigged.
something's rigged. I don't know.
And I understand why the Angels took him off the market for being
Yes.
traded.
Yes.
The Angels aren't too far off of making the playoffs in their
Mhm.
division, and that Trout's going to come back August 3rd is when he's expected to. So you're going to have your 2 of your superstars back.
You have your 1-2 punch.
And they've played pretty good without Mike Trout, so with him back, they should be even better.
Yep.
So they're going to try to make a playoff run, especially since the Angels have never really been that good. Like, they never make the playoffs. And if they do, they get bounced in the first round. So why not just go for it now when you have 2 superstars? So,
Makes sense.
I think the Angels can make the playoffs if Trout comes back healthy and plays good, and they keep Shohei, which they are. So
Makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
it does make a lot of sense for why they're not trading him away right now. It'd be pretty stupid of management to give away the best player in baseball. Also, while you have,
Depending on what you got back, but still, it's the best player in baseball.
see, but no matter what you get back, you're not going to be able to fill Shohei
That's
Ohtani.
true.
That's
true. A pitcher and a great hitter too.
He's the best hitter in baseball, and he's pitching like one of the best pitchers in
Yes.
baseball.
Yeah.
So I think it makes sense why you would not trade him.
Yep.
I feel like it'd be very stupid of management to trade him. I just wouldn't see it.
That's true.
All right, moving on to the next topic. Colorado is announced that they're going to be going to the Big 12 for the 2024-2025 seasons is when they're going to be joining the Big 12.
Well, 2024. Oh, yeah, that
I
makes
said
sense. Yeah,
2024, 2025. And, I mean, I think this is a great move because the Pac-12
is on its
Didn't-
downfall.
it's on its downfall. Everybody's
sure.
leaving.
You know, UCLA and USC are
USC.
leaving that year to the Big Ten. It's going to be interesting to see because Oregon hasn't really said anything or has even talked about it. So I'm interested to see what Oregon, where they move, because if Oregon leaves, then the Pac-12 is nothing after that. They only have Oregon left. To be honest.
And also, on the topic of the Big 12 and Colorado leaving, I think this is great for Colorado.
Yep.
They're going to make $31 million as an incentive to join, which they took. And the Big 12 is at 13 teams right now in the division, division.
Conference, yeah.
Conference, yeah. And they want to add one more team because
Big 14.
they want to have 14, make it even.
Yep.
And they said they want a school that they want a good school.
And of course, Deion Sanders being there, it's just an up and rising school.
Yeah.
To be honest.
So they're trying to fill one more spot, and I'm going to give you guys my prediction right now. I think the UConn Huskies are going to join the Big 12 as the other team.
UConn Huskies.
Yep. Hear me out. They have a good basketball. They have a great basketball school. The last 12 years, they've won 2 national titles.
That's true.
And football, they may not be the greatest football team,
They're not
but they're not they're not the worst football team though. They're decent.
They're okay. How
That,
many wins did they have last year? 5, 3? I think they had 3.
I don't know. I didn't follow UConn, but what they bring for
I
basketball,
just remember Michigan absolutely whooped them, and I think they were 0-2
that
already.
was 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago? Who did they play last year then?
Not UConn.
Not UConn.
Casual.
Hawaii? I swear they played UConn.
They played Hawaii, but they didn't play UConn.
Didn't play UConn.
Casual. Didn't do his research.
Hold on, bro.
He's unprepared.
It's gonna annoy me.
I'm pretty.
Who did they play?
I know they played UConn 2 years ago.
They played UConn 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Can we get Owens a casual in the chat?
Yeah, my bracket's probably not that good then.
Yeah. I'm gonna take this time to.
No, it's not going to show now. I have to go all the way to the internet. Michigan.
2022, 2023. Or just
We'll just say
2022.
2022. Yeah. It's going to feel so dumb when they did.
Oh yeah, they did. Damn it. Can we get Jackson casual in the chat?
Jack Casual in the chat. Okay.
Sorry, when Michigan beats those,
So then who did they play 2 years ago?
they played UConn 2 years ago.
So then they just played them back to back then.
Yeah.
So I guess we were both right. We were good. Beat them. They didn't have.
They didn't. Okay.
Jackson
Jackson casual.
They played Western Michigan. I remember going to that Washington game
Yeah.
and Northern Illinois.
Yeah. I see. All right. Well, at least I'm not as much of a casual as the time you had to ask me if Babe Ruth played for the Yankees.
Well,
Okay.
I just wanted to confirm it, so I didn't actually get to that casual side. But yeah, that is kind of casual, indeed. But it's even now.
Yeah.
It's even now.
But yeah, moving on.
I was about to say, bro, if I was wrong about that, I would
But I still
have
think
cried.
UConn is going to join it just because what they bring for basketball you can't pass up on, and every school wants to get their $31 million incentive to join.
That's true. And there's a lot of AAC that's already joined.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think Houston has joined. I believe Cincinnati has joined. Then one other team, BYU maybe, I think joined.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense. Yes, it would make sense.
Just got to scratch it off the list.
What?
No, it's the same segment, but
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
And now moving on, even though we already kind of talked about NFL training camp,
Mhm.
we're going to talk less about injuries and more about how players are looking so far. So my notable person in training camp that's doing great right now, or a notable duo, is Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson. I've seen so many clips of amazing plays that they are doing,
Yes,
and I think
definitely.
Garrett Wilson's a player to watch out for in fantasy because there's not like a great wide receiver too, or so I think Garrett Wilson's gonna have to take a lot of the
That's true because Alan Lazard, I think, is next up after that, which
Yeah, and-
that's a big drop off in
huge.
talent, in my opinion. So,
So I
yeah,
think
definitely.
that's a duo to watch out for. And
Mhm.
I've also seen Travis Kelce recently.
Hmm.
He's been doing good in training camp, but he also punched his teammate.
Punch his
He
teammate.
punched his teammate. A video is surfacing of him punching his teammate, and he tweeted out, "Got to be a better leader. Got to be a better player. Got to be a better captain. All of the above," saying he's got to be better. But I think it's good. He took accountability to him just punching his teammate after being a little
That's true.
frustrated. But I mean, I think
He
that's kind of funny.
He just gave it to him, didn't he?
Oh yeah, straight up
Just-
punch right to his helmet.
Just boom. Okay.
But if you noticed anybody that's really been impressing you?
I noticed a team. That's the Detroit Lions.
Mhm.
I've heard a lot about them and like their speculation and how good they really could be, because Amon Ra, of course, has been looking very impressive. Goff is looking like the right QB for Detroit at this time.
Mhm.
At this time, and then of course, Jack Campbell and Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah.
Just seeing what they could do, because of course, a lot of people said that they reached on them and stuff. Which I mean, I still think they reached on them. I don't know if you do.
I just think they could have him later.
Yeah, they could have gotten them one pick later, and of course, Jalen Carter. I really did want him, and it was there, and we passed up on him. So, yeah, definitely, that's definitely the spotlight that I've seen,
Yes.
at least.
I think I just now remembered a few players who've also been surfacing for them having great training camps.
Serious.
Bijan Robinson of the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh, I did see
He is-
yep. With that
And
route running and the one-handed catch.
What the reports are saying is he is the best playmaker by far. When he touches the ball, anything can happen. What the reports have been saying. And
that's
there's videos surfacing of him one-hand
Yes.
catches,
Yep, and
crazy route running like he's a
Yep.
wide receiver.
yep. I
And
mean, literally cooking corners like
Mm-hmm.
it's nothing.
yep, and he's a running back.
Yes.
Who doesn't like a pass catching running back?
You know what's scary about that is that he looks like out there like Derrick Henry if he could catch.
Yeah.
Like consistently,
Like he's a
which
better.
is scary.
It's kind of weird to say after all the route running we've seen
Yeah.
in his receiving that he's a better runner than he is a receiver.
Yes.
So it's crazy to think about what he can do. He's a diverse running back.
Yes. And that's
He's a two-way running back, probably. Yeah. is the best way
honestly,
to say
he
it.
could revive the running back position.
Yeah, he could be the young guy to
He could be the young guy to revive it.
Mhm.
And after his rookie contract, sign a big contract.
Yeah.
I honestly, he would be the guy because his role on the Falcons is going to be crazy. Because of course they have Desmond Ridder at QB, and Kyle Pitts and Drake London. They haven't really sparked
I just feel like
interest.
I feel like that's the coaching's fault, in my opinion. Because
yeah, half of it.
the
is.
coach uses Kyle Pitts as a blocker, even though
He's more of a catcher.
he got drafted because he was a receiver.
Yes,
You don't draft him fourth overall to block, and then
that's true.
yeah, I mean the coach says we're not playing fantasy football. Then why'd you draft him fourth overall if you're not going to throw the ball to him?
That's true.
If you're going to design stuff to go to not Kyle Pitts or Drake London, then why did you draft him in the first round, both of them back-to-back years?
That's true, and I think Bijan could definitely bring the best out of them just because the attraction to him is
for his
going to
running
be
game.
crazy.
I
So
feel like it opens
it's gonna
up.
be like stopping Derrick Henry.
Oh, yeah.
all over again.
It's gonna be like Ryan Tannehill, how he looked better because
Yeah.
Derrick Henry was his running back. I think that's gonna happen with Desmond Ridder.
I mean, Desmond Ridder is not a very talented QB, but I mean, if
He could
Bijan plays like Derrick Henry did,
Bijan made Quinn Ewers look better in
Yeah.
Texas.
that's true.
So I mean,
He pretty much he put up a good fight with Alabama just because of that,
Mhm.
Bijan's presence. So
yeah, but
definitely will be
like,
interesting to see.
I remember watching a game where it was Texas versus some school. I forget what it was, but Texas lost literally because the other team would put 9 in the box and they would just all out blitz, and Quinn Ewers couldn't throw the ball.
Really?
Yeah, and it was a just only defense game because the other team's offense sucked. So it was, I believe it was TCU.
TCU?
Yeah, they just weren't playing good on offense. And
TCU, that's
it's
crazy
weird.
because they beat Michigan.
Because they're a really good offensive team.
They absolutely clapped Michigan on offense.
Texas
so.
defense stepped up and played great, but Quinn Ewers couldn't throw the ball. He couldn't hit water if he fell off a boat, to say the least.
You know, that's kind of weird because imagine if Michigan had Blake Corum. God, I can't talk. Imagine if Michigan had Blake Corum, then they would have probably done the same strategy and tested JJ McCarthy probably.
And that's what they did with Donovan Edwards. That's what they
Did
did.
they?
Yeah.
Oh,
JJ McCarthy had to throw the ball a lot.
I didn't watch the defensive scheme really, just because of God. I don't really want to remember that game. I don't really want to remember that game. So.
All right.
Just very disappointing game.
Because that's really what they did is they made J.J. McCarthy throw the ball. And of course, he threw 2 picks, but he was,
2 picks.
Other than his 2 bad throws, he was really throwing the ball good. So
that's true.
It's kind of like what they did with what Ohio State did with. And for the first 3 quarters, the running game was non-existent because they kept sending everybody at Donovan Edwards, and they made J.J. McCarthy throw the ball. But then in the fourth quarter, when that wasn't working, they had to try to change up their defense, and then Donovan Edwards
broke out for
absolutely cooked.
2 rushing touchdowns.
Yep, and I think that's what really happened in the TCU game. And I'm really confident to say that TCU tried doing the same thing that Ohio State did, except they did it better than Ohio State.
That's true.
But
I mean, they also had a week of film on that and all that. So
yeah,
but
moving on. Back now, it's on Michigan, but. Recent news, Harbaugh is getting a 4-game suspension because he bought a kid a burger who's on unofficial visit. And he got a level 1 violation, which is the biggest violation you can get for the NCAA. And you want to know why the NCAA gave him 4 games?
What is that?
Like they're going to give a suspension. Well, no, they probably weren't going to, but he's not admitting he's wrong. Because that's stupid. So you're gonna suspend a dude 4 games because he bought a kid a burger and he won't say that was a violation. I mean, it's stupid. 4 games, that is crazy.
Yeah.
And you look at other schools like Texas, USC, Texas A&M,
Tennessee, Georgia.
Yeah, they all recruit players. They say it's NIL money, but they bundle it up into NIL, and they put millions of dollars into NIL deals that they make to get players to go there. And so, but that's not a violation because they admit to it, and they only get fined a few $1 million. And of course, it's a lot of money, but for a school to pay that off when Georgia makes way more than like $5 million a year, that's nothing. That's like a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, that's true.
So when you're to do that, but they admit to it, so it makes it all better.
Yeah.
The NCAA wants to make a statement out of this, and
just admit to anything, I guess, and just get fined and move on.
Yeah,
but I don't think it really will affect Michigan just because their first 4 games are
really easy,
like really, really easy.
He's allowed to be around the team at practice, but he just can't go to the games. So it's not like he won't be around the team for 4 weeks.
Oh, okay then. So it just, I don't know. I mean, it's not really anything crazy. It's not like it's mid-season and on the verge of doing something, and it's Penn State next week, and our coach can't be there.
Yeah,
it's not like that. It's kind of like there's 4 bums. We might as well just give them a suspension, which I don't really think it's making a statement, just because, again, the teams that they're playing are just horrific.
And the NCAA is just showing off why they're.
I guess they just want to show their power of what they can do.
Yeah, and it's honestly really sad that they have to suspend a coach 4 games because he just won't admit that he just won't say that he made a mistake or something on a stupid rule. I mean, that rule's kind of dumb, but
it is.
Whatever. I mean,
it's stupid.
I don't want to talk too much about it because I'll get furious really fast. But history was made in the NBA recently. Jaylen Brown signed the biggest deal in NBA history. He's getting paid 5 years, $304 million, which is crazy. I saw Kobe Bryant, how much he made just in career earnings through his 20-year career. And he made
probably less.
$400 million. $400 million, which is a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but in 5 years, Jaylen.
20 years?
Mhm.
It's a lot.
But it's
Not a lot.
not a
Not
lot compared to what
Not
Jalen
a
Brown's
lot.
making.
Yeah.
Jalen Brown in 5 years is going to make 3/4 of what he made in 20 years.
That's in 5 years.
So in a fourth of his career, he's making 3/4 of his earnings.
Basically, if you ratioed it out, Jalen Brown would make on this path about $1.2 billion compared to Kobe's $400 million.
Mhm.
That is ridiculous. And
I
to be
mean-
honest, this, of course, we did talk about this, how it opens up the market a lot for other players. But at the same time, I don't know how I feel about Jalen Brown, specifically a guy who really can't go left, gets $304 million.
Yeah, here's my 2 cents on it. I actually love him signing and getting $304 million and being the highest paid because it just opens up the market for everybody.
Mhm.
And these players are going to be getting paid more and more money. As you said, Jokic is probably going to get. He's talking $350 million for his next contract.
Pretty much, yeah.
And you got to think for the players in the future, like Victor Wembanyama after his rookie contract. If he pans out as the player that everybody thinks he is,
He's gonna be worth like $500 million. Or
Yeah,
something.
400,
You might as
500
well
million.
Pay him. Oh my god!
so I like what it does for
It's gonna
the
become
future
soccer.
players.
It's gonna become soccer. It might.
It could, but we'll see how it does. So it just elevates the market. I think you can compare that to Patrick Mahomes, even though Patrick Mahomes is way better in his respected sport than
That's true.
Jalen Brown is in NBA. But Patrick Mahomes opened up the market and got
Yep.
and is the reason that guys like Herbert and all these guys are getting paid a lot of money. And now he's ranked like 7th for highest paid quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And at the time, he was highest paid by far.
Yeah.
So I think it's great because it just gets everybody else getting paid a lot more money.
Mm-hmm.
And who doesn't like seeing people get paid a lot of money?
That's true.
It's fun to see.
Yeah, it is.
So I like this. I mean, I know you don't like it. I don't think he deserves it, but
Yeah, I don't.
at the end in a year, he's not going to be the highest paid
That's true.
player, so it doesn't matter.
I didn't really think about it from that aspect when I seen it. It was kind of like, is he really that talented to get the highest pay? Because like Mahomes did it because he was legitly the best QB in the NFL
Mhm.
to change the market. And honestly, the contracts are getting up there anyway. So the fact that Jalen Brown signed this, I mean, there was talks about it, how he was going to get paid an absurd amount for what he's really not worth, but then it'll even out once these other guys get more. So, yeah,
Mhm.
definitely. It'll definitely work out in the long run.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, like I said, in a year, he's not going to be the highest paid player.
He's probably going to be 10th, I'd say.
As soon as the next up superstar, like
Because Tatum.
he's going for an extension or he's going to renew his contract, like Tatum next year, he's going to get paid more than Jalen Brown.
Mhm. Yeah.
And because Jason Tatum's a way better player. Well, not way better, but he's a better player.
Yeah.
So I think he honestly did a service to Jason Tatum
Mm-hmm.
because he's just giving more of an incentive for why Jason Tatum's going to get paid more for all these other superstars. So I really love this deal that he got, and he's getting his money up.
He is, yep.
So
Not
yeah.
his money up. He's getting his money up. Not his
Yup.
money up.
The next topic is, as I briefly said, Justin Herbert getting paid 5 years, $262.5 million in his extension with a Los Angeles Chargers. Sorry. I was about to say San Diego, and then I tried. You know what I'm saying? It happens.
It happens. Yep, it does.
But Los Angeles Chargers, and I like this as well because he's a great quarterback, even though he had a relatively down year. But Keenan Allen was hurt a lot. Mike Williams was hurt a lot.
Eckler was carrying the team.
Yeah,
Like it was
so
going out of style.
it just made him look worse. But I still think he's that good quarterback that he's always been. And I saw some stats that through his first 3 years, he was top 3 in all stats.
Yep.
Like for quarterback stats, passing yards, passing touchdowns.
He's kind of underrated, actually.
Oh, very underrated. I don't know.
You know, when you look at the
Slept on him after one
stats,
game.
when you look at the
After one game.
stats, like he's consistently top 3. Like it's nothing. And of course, he had arguably one of the greatest rookie seasons in NFL history.
Some might say he had the greatest rookie year
Yeah.
because, I mean, everybody,
just because of his stats.
yeah, and he willed Los Angeles Chargers that were horrible, and he got them to a close playoff berth. And unlike what Baker Mayfield did with the Browns,
Yep.
he put up great stats. Baker Mayfield put up good stats. Herbert's been putting up great stats.
Yep.
And he had a bad third year, well, not a bad year, but he just didn't have the year that everybody was expecting. And then everybody's just sleeping on him now.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why, people are just disrespecting him off of one rough year.
Yep.
So I think he'll bounce back and be getting paid. I mean, and he'll play like what he's getting paid. Absolute dog of a player.
Yep.
So,
Makes sense.
yeah, I think it's great seeing him get paid. So,
Yeah, he deserves it for sure.
yeah, I mean, I like it.
Yeah, I
You
like,
like
it too. I like it too.
All right. Moving on to another signing in the NFL that I think did his position wrong. Like he didn't help his position. Saquon Barkley signed a 1 year, $11 million with a good amount of money, million in incentives.
Yeah.
But by him doing this, he just sets running backs back because it shows that the franchise tag that the Giants were gonna do.
I will tell you this. That is the franchise tag.
No, the franchise tag was $10.1 million.
No, like that. It's kind of like it is the franchise tag, but it's not. If that makes sense. The long-term deal, like deadline, already passed.
Yeah.
Passed like 3 weeks ago. So this was kind of Saquon's only option.
And he got $900,000 more.
Yeah,
So
and
he
incentives
So he did all this fighting and all of this trying to battle for his running back
for
position.
about $1 million more.
Not even. So if I wouldn't be surprised if running backs like Jonathan Taylor, younger running backs, would be
Bijan,
upset at
of
him.
course. Yeah.
They should all be upset at him because he just
Mhm.
showed that he's gonna lay over and get the very little increase. So it's honestly just set running backs back.
Yes.
I mean, the running backs got to figure out a way to get paid. They got to boycott it or something like that, and they got to get honestly,
get like a strike going.
yeah, like we said off stream.
Mm-hmm.
There should be a leader for the running backs who speaks. And I mean, I said Austin Eckler.
Derrick Henry should be because he's just more of a natural running back.
Yeah.
Like he's not a wide receiver running back type guy.
Yeah.
He's more just straight running back. And that would just because of course McCaffrey makes like 17 mil.
Oh, yeah, he's getting
Just
paid.
because he does a lot.
Mhm.
But guys like a guy like Derrick Henry, if he absolutely just went crazy and carried the Titans to the playoffs, which he's done in the past, which makes really no sense of why the running back position needs to be proved because Derrick Henry has proved it
Yeah.
year in and year out. I mean, he's basically the only reason why the Titans compete year in and year out.
They didn't compete too much last year because he was hurt.
Well, yeah, because he was hurt.
Yeah.
You've seen the evidence. It was pretty bad to watch them on offense.
I mean, he didn't really play too, and even when he was playing, though, he wasn't playing at the same level.
That's true. He was.
I don't want to say he's washed, but he's on the decline.
That's true.
He's past his prime, which is 2 years ago.
So I think he needs to step up just
Mhm.
because he's more of a natural running back.
And I feel like a really young running back who could change it and can be a voice for younger guys would definitely be Bijan.
Yep.
For sure.
Or even Breece Hall that we mentioned briefly. A guy that could, that's
He'd have to have a
younger.
good second year
Yeah,
to
and
get-
of course,
to really bring that up.
kind of could do it is Kenneth Walker. I guess if he kept his motive
If he
going
does
in
what he
Seattle.
did in the last half of the season, he can be
Yes.
also one of those guys.
Yeah. So just naming a few guys.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think we can both agree on that.
I think the younger generation, it's up to them
Yeah.
for these older guys to get paid,
And-
which
No, I think it's the other way around. The older guys got to fight so that running backs in the future can get paid. Because by the time that running backs are going to get paid, these older running backs like Derrick Henry,
That's true.
he's not going to get paid.
that's true.
I mean,
So I guess it could be a little bit of both. Like the young running backs do have to produce, but at the same time, the old guys, I think just everybody has to come together and produce.
running backs are always going to produce. Like the younger running backs, there's always going to be a running back producing, but
Mm-hmm.
the production has got to be for a longer time.
Yes.
And I think the old players who have been producing for a long time, but
yeah,
are declining like Derrick Henry, they need to fight for these young running backs and give experience of what they have to help
Mhm.
younger running backs. If that makes sense.
and kind of show the timeline to teams of
Yeah.
what effects they have to their team, their organization.
Yeah, but I
So,
mean,
yeah.
I think the running backs got to come together as a whole and fight for their money.
I mean, they did have a Zoom call of all the running backs,
But then
or most of
what
them.
Barkley did the next day didn't help that.
That's true.
So all that they just did didn't help him because Barkley laid over and took 900,000
I-
more.
I'm kind of interested. I'm kind of interested to see what Josh Jacobs does. You know what contract he'll take,
Yeah,
because if he takes a decent contract, then that could flip around the narrative. But
I don't think a decent
But of
decent
course,
contract wouldn't do it.
after what Barkley did, the Raiders probably took a step back and
Yeah.
we're like, you're gonna get barely more.
That's what
than
I'm saying. A
this.
guy like Josh Jacobs should be furious at Saquon Barkley.
Mhm.
Because now Josh Jacobs probably won't make as much money as he was going to, and
Mhm.
that's going to set back the running backs even more.
Mhm.
So I think what Saquon Barkley didn't help him at all.
No,
And that Zoom call meeting that they did
yeah,
didn't
whatever.
do anything. But Saquon Barkley took a little bit more money.
It was like basically the talk, and then the actions.
Yeah,
did not
Didn't-
line up. Did not line up.
Didn't
at
line
all.
up, and they didn't do anything. So I
Did
mean,
not line up at all.
I get angry because of what Barkley did. I like Barkley, but he completely just messed up the entire running back position for another year.
Another year. Yep.
So I mean, it's if they want change, they gotta really fight and they gotta boycott. To be completely honest with you here.
Basically, yeah.
But moving on to our next topic, back to LeBron James. Jeannie Buss, the owner of the Lakers, has said that they're going to retire LeBron James's number, but they are unsure of what number because they can't retire number 6. Well, they said they don't know yet, but I think they're going to go with 23 because number 6 is being retired across the entire league.
Yep. With Bill Russell's passing.
Bill Russell, yes. R.I.P.
RIP,
Bill
yep.
Russell.
Legend.
And yes, I think they should retire number 23 just because he wins a ring with that. And LeBron himself said that he's not going to wear number 6 just because of out of respect for Bill Russell. So I don't think LeBron would even want number 6 to get retired. So he'd probably want number 23. And I feel like everybody else would probably think the same.
Mhm.
So my prediction is LeBron's number 23 is going to get hung up instead of number
rafters,
6. Yes.
Yeah, definitely 23 should be hung up. I mean, that's just what it's got to be. I think the more debate it would be is did he wear 6 in Cleveland? I don't think so.
No, he wore
right?
6 in Miami.
He wore 6 in Miami. I was going to say, because if he wore 6 for one of the other teams, then maybe it's a debate. But I just think for the Lakers, I just think out of respect, LeBron's going to push for 23 easily. And of course, number 6 being retired league wide already. So, I mean, you want to retire LeBron as LeBron, not like kind of a side piece to something else.
Bill Russell's shadow, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah. So, 23 is the easy option there.
Moving on, because that was a pretty quick topic.
Yep.
The NFL Top 100. First 50 players, I believe, have been released.
I believe so,
Something
yeah.
like that. And there have been some interesting.
Should I pull up the list?
Just pull up the list, because
Pull up the list.
I'm not sure where Dak Prescott is ranked exactly, but I thought he was in the 50s or 60s or 50s.
Something like that.
But Lamar's at 72. So you're telling me that there's 71 players that are better than Lamar Jackson, and Dak Prescott's one of them? I don't really know. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And I mean, I just think that the NFL's gotta really get their rankings together. Because you had CeeDee Lamb pretty low too, after he just had a good year.
That's true. I'm trying to find. Trying to see if.
Because after the year Dak had, I mean, I don't know how he got in there. If we're to be completely honest.
All right, here we go. We got 51. So the top 50 have been released.
Yep, I was right on that. Let's go.
Should I just list off like a couple names,
Yeah.
or do you want to like take a peek at this?
List a
So
few.
one that I do want to express is Mark Andrews.
Mhm.
He's number 80, and of course we already know that he's definitely a top 3 tight end. George Kittle,
After the last
Kittle,
2 years, yeah.
after Kittle and Kelsey, and the fact that the number 3 tight end is at 80, I don't think that's right.
It's just disrespect to the tight end position.
I think it's disrespect. Mark Andrews, he's a consistent year in and year out.
Yeah.
And
he's really shined like big
I
time.
forget where he was at last year.
Well, he's completely stepped up the last 2 years.
Yes.
And he's-
so I think he should at
Barely
least
moving.
be. I mean, at least top 50.
I
they
don't think it's
they
unfair to
have
say that. I think that's respectable. Because we all know what the top 50 is going to be filled of.
because
It's a bunch of
Aaron
quarterbacks.
Rodgers is at 51.
And
Now, of course, he had a down year, and he went from 3 to 51. I remember his.
Yeah.
Just because he was number 3.
Mhm.
But I mean, there's some interesting rankings. Dak Prescott being at 56. Lamar was at 52. I mean, 72. I'm sorry.
Wasn't Jared Goff lower, I believe?
Goff was 66.
And then Sam Brown was 67, right?
67, yep. So even those two were ahead of Lamar, which Amon-Ra makes sense, I guess, because the game's misses of Lamar
Mhm.
was kind of Amon-Ra's peaking
Yeah.
in a way. So, I mean, Lamar's better than Goff. And, I mean, last
Prescott,
year,
let's be honest, he's better than Prescott.
he's better than Prescott. So, if anything, I'd move Lamar to, where Prescott is, and Prescott, I think, should move back, and then Goff should move back to where Lamar is.
I think you could honestly make the argument that Goff could jump Prescott.
That's true
Because
of his year last year. And
Goff had a good year, and he helped revive the Lions.
Mhm.
And
now they're hyped this year because of it.
Prescott, with a really great team around him, couldn't stop turning the ball over.
Mhm.
And he didn't exactly play that great. So I think 56 is very generous of the NFL. And 72 for Lamar is just outright hating a quarterback who can run.
Because I will say this, Justin Fields is at 86.
I mean, that might see that's probably a decent spot for him just because he's just coming off his rookie year.
I don't know. I think it's a stretch because at 96, believe it or not, is Trevor Lawrence.
Whoa, that's
when I seen that, I was like, whoa. How
mean,
many QBs are on this list?
That doesn't make sense. So, because Trevor Lawrence
he had an amazing year
and he
last
got Jacksonville
year.
to the AFC Championship game, right? No, AFC.
No, just short of it.
AFC,
AFC semifinals, I guess you could say.
Yeah. So how does he get a team like Jacksonville, who the year before that got 3 wins?
I don't.
So how did he get them from a terrible team who had the first pick to?
Actually, I think the year before that they were mid.
No, they were the worst.
Stepped up.
They had the first overall pick because they got Trayvon Walker.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then they drafted Aiden Hutchinson.
Oh my god! And then, he literally revived. Again, I don't know.
So they went from 3
As soon
wins.
as I seen that, I was like, this list is gonna be terrible. There's gonna be so many people.
I mean,
I mean, Jamal Williams, most touchdowns in the league at the running back position is number 95. I mean, of course, yes, he was just running 1 yard, 1 yard, 1 yard, but he led the league in rushing touchdowns. That's
it should mean something.
It should mean something. I mean, Tua's at 82.
Yeah.
Just because of his injuries, probably. He'd probably be way higher.
Oh yeah, that's another player who really impresses me so far in training camp. He's gotten 8 pounds of muscle gain. He's absolutely ripped now.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly he's not underthrowing balls anymore. Supposedly.
But Zach Martin, didn't he get the 99?
He's a 99 overall Madden rating.
He's 68.
Wow.
So that just shows you either Madden really screwed up or the NFL Top 100 really screwed up.
I think
it's probably Madden though, because Madden is just
Zach Martin's probably the best lineman in the league though, other than who's that lineman for the 49ers?
I know who you're talking about.
I'm just tripping on his name right now.
I'm just looking to see if he's up here. No, he's not. So he's gonna be way up there.
I think that just shows that
Terrence Williams, I believe.
Nope.
Trent Williams.
Yep. Where's he?
He's not on the list so far. They have only the top. They only got the 51 so far.
Dude,
at least on this list.
That's just showing disrespect to offensive line. Offensive linemen win games.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't win the battle in the trenches, you're not going to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think I don't think that's Madden's wrong or the NFL. I think just the NFL is disrespecting linemen. They want to really make a name by talking about players who really excite people because nobody gets excited talking about a dude who just blocks all game.
That's true.
Even though that's the most important position.
Yes.
If we're to be completely honest.
Yeah, it wins you games.
Doesn't matter if you have Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback, but if your offensive line is full of 4-year-olds and they just hit Mahomes all the time.
It was shown with the Bengals that the Bengals could have easily won that Super Bowl, I think, if they had at least a decent offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
But it just showed that you need an offensive line.
Burrow got
a solid one.
Burrow got sacked 7 times.
Yes. And even on that last play, they didn't even really get a shot.
He didn't get a shot
at anything, just because of the offensive line. But there's another name I'm just seeing on here. Darius Slay's at 65.
I think that's a little high.
He's a little high.
Yes.
He had a great year. He's kind of one of the reasons why the Eagles were in the Super Bowl. But let me hear your take.
Hear me out. No, he left Detroit. And he's still a good cornerback, don't get me wrong, but if you have a guy like Trevor Lawrence, who's at 96,
That's true.
if you have a guy who's like Lamar is at 72, and you have a guy like, who's another person you named off? I'm trying to really remember here. Because there's a lot of players who I think are just
Mark
underrated.
Andrews at 80.
Yeah, so how are you going to put all those guys who barely cracked the top 100 or they're getting absolutely disrespected, but you're going to put Darius Slay ahead of them? I'm okay with Darius Slay being there, but if those guys are a lot behind him, then that doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
But yeah, the next rankings are Monday.
All right.
And they're all on NFL Plus, even the final 10 through 1, which makes no sense. Usually ESPN covers that, but
Yeah.
Let me see. Any other ones? There was one that I seen. I mean, I guess could give props to Garrett Wilson. He's at 74.
I mean, he probably
First
he
ranking.
couldn't hire if Zach Wilson
Yeah, if
wasn't
Zach
his
Wilson
quarterback.
wasn't absolute poverty.
So I saw at the Lions game, during the Lions Jets game, Zach Wilson completely kept missing like crazy.
Now, I don't know about stats wise, but do you think Chris Olave was better than Garrett Wilson?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
So he won't be on this list then.
Probably not.
Probably not, unfortunately.
He didn't really have a great rookie. I mean, he was all right, but he didn't have like a good year like Wilson had.
Another guy that did tank and is on this list, a little bit high for me, is Trayvon Diggs at 60.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a little too high for me. I mean, if he was at like 70 something, then maybe, but I mean, he was at like 20 or 30. But like the year that he exploded up the board,
He's got a lot of interceptions.
he led the league in interceptions. And this year he didn't do anything. And I still think he gets burned on routes. That was like his one lucky year that he's going to get 12 interceptions by just jumping everything.
Yeah.
And that's easy to figure out on film because all you got to do is just throw like a little move at him and he'll just jump the route and then you'll have free touchdowns all the time.
Yeah, he's a hit or miss type player.
Mm-hmm.
He either gets the interception or he gives up a touchdown.
Yeah, so it's very risky with him.
Yeah.
For sure.
But I think we can all agree that the NFL top 100 is very inconsistent and probably not the most accurate.
Yeah, another guy that's surprisingly on here is Bobby Wagner. He's at 62.
How is he still on there?
I don't know how he's even on here.
He's washed.
And to be honest, I would be shocked if Aaron Donald's on this list.
He definitely will be.
I mean, I know he will be, but he should be in this next episode, maybe the episode after that, because I think he was a top 10 player the year before
He's
that.
always a top 10 player because he's Aaron Donald.
But I mean, he had such a bad year, bro.
It's not that he had a bad year. It's just he didn't play as much as he usually does, and his production was low.
Yeah, I mean,
So
6 sacks.
It's a complete down year. He shouldn't be on here, but because of his name, he's going to be high up still.
Yeah, Hutch is on here, 88.
I mean, I guess that's respectable. Even though he's the only player who had a certain amount of sacks and 3 interceptions.
Yeah, he had I believe 5 sacks and 3 picks. He was the only one in the league, which is a great achievement for him.
And he was getting double teamed every single game.
Pretty much, yep. Which is why I wanted Jalen Carter, because it would have freed up Aiden Hutchinson. We would have been stupid.
And we would have had James Houston as well, who came up hot at the end of the year.
Yep. So our defensive line would have been ridiculous. But a lot of 49ers on here, of course.
They have a really good team, though, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, Debo's at 61.
That's probably a lie.
It is a little high. Hufanga, you know who that is, right?
Yep.
78. Dre Greenlaw, he's at 79.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's it. But the only free agent on here is Dalvin Cook. He's at 91. And D-Hop's at 90.
Yeah, I mean, David said a paragraph.
What do you say?
I can't read it yet. It hasn't loaded in yet.
Sorry that I haven't typed anything in the chat. I was listening to you guys while mowing. Oh, that's
dedication. That's W. David right there.
That's W. David. We didn't expect we didn't really expect anything in the chat, usually, but if it pops up, we read it. So
Yep. I think we can all agree that the NFL top 100 is just terrible.
I'll go one more here. One more.
Mhm.
Trey Hendrickson, defensive end, Bengals.
Where is he ranked?
Very underrated.
What's his?
What do you think it is? How about that? You
Is
only
he-
got 50 to 100, man.
Well, is he on there or not?
Yes, he is. He's on
Okay, so he's on there. Is he in the 70s?
Yes,
All right, 70, 74.
very close. 75.
All right, so he's
74 was Garrett Wilson,
all right.
but 75 is Trey Hendrickson.
Who and you got who's in front of him? I know Lamar's two in front of him.
You have Lamar's in front of him. I guess like Joey Bosa.
Joey Bosa, like he's
Aaron Donald's gonna end up in front of him. Probably Brian Burns. I guess.
that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Mike Evans did not move a spot, which was kind of surprising. He's
Yeah,
53.
He's consistent. He's
consistent.
consistently consistent.
So you're telling me next year he's just going to be 53 all over again?
If he gets his 1,000 yards every single like he did this year.
Trayvon Diggs is in front of him. Debo's in front of him.
Trayvon Diggs and Debo is
Darius
crazy.
Slay.
Slay's crazy why he's ahead of him.
I just think the two biggest disrespectful ones was Trevor Lawrence and Trey Hendrickson. Because Hendrickson I think he's up there with now of course I don't think he's on the level. I think he's like a half step back from like TJ Watt, Myles Garrett, guys in his division.
Mhm.
But he's up there, dude. He's elite. He's crazy good.
It's tough to be noticed when you're on a team like the Bengals with Burrow, Chase,
Yeah, with
Mixon.
with an elite offense like that. Yeah,
The
definitely.
defense kind of gets shadowed.
Yeah,
But I mean, even the defense is still really good. You got like Jesse Bates on that defense.
yeah.
So
No, he's gone.
Well, he
He's in
was.
Atlanta, but,
He was on the team though.
but still,
So
they had
it's easy
a
to
great.
overlooked.
Yeah, they definitely had a very solid team, and Trey Henderson is underrated in my opinion. Very underrated.
Moving on to a very interesting thing that happened yesterday in the baseball world. USA's national 12U
Oh, God.
baseball team beat New Zealand's 12U baseball national team 43-1. And I mean, I don't really know where to start on that because
43
40
to 1.
that's unheard of to score 43 runs in a
I
baseball
mean, the
game.
fact that it got to that is ridiculous.
Honestly, I'm disappointed.
How many innings did they play? Like 6?
Yeah,
I think
6 or 7.
right? 43 runs in 6 innings.
But no, dude. But if they applied the mercy rule, because I think it's after 20 runs after 3 innings. But if USA was the away team and they batted first, that might there's probably a mercy rule in there. But USA was so good that they were still playing double past the mercy rule. Jeez, that's crazy. It was like
That makes it. When I seen that, because of course he posted it on TikTok and
Yep.
YouTube. You should go check it out if you haven't.
check out all of our recent
Yep,
stuff.
check out all the recent stuff. We posted a couple things, but when you posted that, I didn't even know about it. I didn't hear about it. I thought ESPN would cover it or
So
something.
when I first saw it on Twitter, I thought it was like a parody account that was just joking. But
yeah,
no,
I
it
thought it
was
was a joke,
a reliable source that was
Yep.
serious.
dude.
Honestly,
43 to 1.
I'm disappointed that we gave up a run.
That's true.
I'm just kidding. But like,
That's true. 43-0 would
How
have been way better.
how do you get to the point where you give up 43 runs? Like I've gotten beaten some baseball games like really bad, but I haven't even been half of 43. I haven't lost by half of 43 runs.
That's pretty bad, man.
Like I think you almost have to try to give up 43 runs.
That's true because the pitching has to be horrendous.
You have to have really bad pitchers.
The fielding, I mean, even like the fielding has to be horrendous, right? Because
Dude, my question is, how did New Zealand just not forfeit?
yes,
Like,
I mean, if I was the coach after at least 20, man, if we were down like 20-1, I would have been like, yeah, let's just call it. You guys got us. Like,
dude,
let's just move on.
and I mean, I didn't watch the games. I don't know anybody who did. But
That's true.
how did USA
Imagine the
just not?
stats on this game
Did
with that
USA just not like take their foot off the gas? Because
Yeah,
I remember like you'd be ahead in baseball or like you'd be down, and the other team's coach would like,
yeah. I mean,
you can't
even
do certain
like
things.
even like like basketball and like
'Cause you
football,
usually
like
out of
you throw out like the
Yeah, no,
people
you-
that don't play a lot. And
Usually,
stuff,
out of respect, you just try not to run it up, dude.
Yeah.
If USA did that and they still were running it up on them, then that's just sad on New Zealand's part. But no bias here, but America.
Yep.
We love America.
Yep, we love that. We love
USA.
We love that.
Honestly, but there's not too much to talk about that because I don't follow the USA 12U national team, but 43-1 is crazy.
That's true.
That I think it takes more talent than
Is that a record or something? Or
it might be.
can you read it?
That USA locker room must be crazy. Dude, honestly, how do you actually give up 43? Like,
That would have been a vibe, dude. It would have been like, dude, 43-1.
dude, the most I've ever seen put up was an Angels game recently where they got 25 runs after like the third inning, but then they didn't score a single run after that.
Right, because they probably like toned it down.
And this is
like,
supposed to be the best
a
team
lot.
that New Zealand can throw out there. And they got killed.
That's true. They got absolutely mercied. So I mean, either Team USA's absolutely stupidly insane, or
I'm sure they're good, but
or New Zealand is just
I don't even think we have the best national team
bottom of the pit.
out there.
So New Zealand's just straight trash. Like
Yeah.
probably bottom two, maybe bottom.
Dude, they're probably the
They're
worst.
probably
If
the
you
bottom.
lose by 42 runs,
They're
you're the worst
You're
team.
the worst.
You're the
Probably,
worst
yeah.
team. Yeah, I mean, that's just flat out embarrassing. I'd
Probably so. If New Zealand beats anybody, that would be crazy. Jackie got a tan.
You got a tan. I mean, been out in the sun recently.
Yes, sir, Jack.
Appreciate the
Got that tan.
compliment.
Got that tan.
No, it's that healthy tan too. It's all
Is that
legit.
healthy
All
tan?
legit. So
Yup.
appreciate it.
None of that like spray tan.
Oh
like
no.
Donald Trump.
Sorry. We're all natural over here.
That's true. Yep. I just play golf and then it just happens. So
I run outside.
and then you run outside. There we go. Look at that. Yep. Getting our exercise in and getting
Go a little off topic. I did 9 miles today.
9 miles
Just,
today.
just want to throw that out there.
Jesus.
Just want to throw that out there.
That deserves a clap from me. That's impressive.
Appreciate it.
9 miles, man. I think I drove 9 miles in my car today.
Sweet. Yep. But moving on from the baseball game. Yeah, moving on from the 12U baseball game. That
was absurd.
It's that bad when people are actually talking about a 12U baseball game.
That's true. Yeah.
That's how you know you've done something really wrong. But moving on, Ezekiel Elliott has been reportedly he's visiting the Patriots today.
New England Patriots, yes.
And
Today.
I mean, I think I got a comparison too. It's like, there's no really great way to say this, but it's a team that just wants to check him out to see if he still has anything there, but they're not really interested in him. They just want to see if there's anything left. Kind of like when Emmitt Smith went to the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Want to see if there's any bit of prime Emmitt left, and there's just not. And I don't think the Patriots are actually going to take a stab at him, to be honest with you. Because
no, you might as well take a shot at Damian Harris if you're the Patriots. I'm not gonna lie.
they already have 2 good running backs.
Yeah,
I know it'd be cool to get a third, but if the third isn't good and won't play, then why get him?
He's not worth it.
Just keep other third string running back.
Like I followed Zeke through college and everything, and I'm telling you,
He was a dog.
no,
He was a dog in college.
he's an absolute dog. In
He was good in
college.
his few first years, and then all of a sudden he got fat.
And of course, got a lot of fines because he decided to wear a croc top instead of just a normal football uniform.
Oh, and he jumped in the what's it called?
He did a lot of things.
Yeah, no, he was an interesting player.
He just wore He just wore a lot of stuff.
That's not the reason why he had a downfield.
No, it's just like I don't know. His behavior just like went kind of like weird. It was like a weird transition.
That stuff never really bothered me. I always thought that was cool, but he
just the stuff they did was kind of a little absurd.
I mean, he's just not a good running back anymore. To be simple, he can get you 3 yards every now and then, but that's about all you're going to get out of that.
I'd say he's like Jamal Williams. He's a
No,
guy
he's
that you just like stick at the goal line.
No,
and maybe do something.
No.
I don't know. I mean, anything to just try to get him to
after the year
do
that
decent. I don't
After the year
know.
that Jamal had, dude, you can't compare Ezekiel Elliott to that.
That's true.
He literally,
But
Bro,
what the Lions used him for is what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I guess that's the only thing that you could use him for. But
you
that's
act like
it,
that
'cause
was the
he's
only thing that
fat.
they used Jamal for. When
'Cause
Swift
he's
got
fat.
hurt,
I
Jamal
know.
Williams was the guy.
That's true. But like
and he still held his
the
own.
main thing, right? The main thing, how he got most of his touchdowns.
That's what Zeke was for the Cowboys, and he still sucked.
Yeah.
So that's
So, I mean,
that's ridiculous to say
I
that.
think that's That's the only shot that he has, dude. He's not.
That's the
He
only.
cannot move in space anymore. There's no way.
That's the only possible chance, and even then, he still sucks at
Yes.
it. It's ridiculous to say that he can even do that. Honestly,
Yeah.
he should just hang up the cleats.
Yeah.
There's a time
Honestly.
where everybody gets told that they should stop playing the kid game.
Just look back to your Ohio State days
Hey,
and chill back.
And some people get told that earlier than others. Like Tom Brady played for 20 years, 20 plus years.
And then
Zeke Elliott, you got to call it after 7 years, 8 years.
something like that. Yeah.
I think it's his time to call it because
Yeah, because I think he left after the Natty, right? After they won the Natty.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 2015. So yeah.
he left after. I think it was 2016.
So he left the year after the Natty.
Yeah.
Okay then. So, I mean, 7-year career.
17.
That's about the average. That's about the average. Running
Yeah,
back
especially
span.
for running back. Yeah, I mean,
I think he's got one more year of just being on a roster, and then that's it. Like, he's
yeah.
just
And
gonna
like I said, this
be a
isn't,
free agent, and then he's just gonna float away.
this isn't like the Patriots being really interested in him. They just want to see if he can
Probably.
still kind of play. But
Probably.
I don't see that working out.
It's hard to watch as, of course,
Yeah,
former Zeke fan. I'm not a fan of him anymore, but
never been a fan of him.
I had his jersey.
Never been a fan of him. I hate the Cowboys. I hate Ohio State.
That's true. That was one little phase that I did like Ohio State.
You liked Ohio State.
Just because of him. Literally just because of him. I don't even remember the roster. I think it was JT Barrett and him. That was it. That's all I remember.
So you're telling me you're a diehard Michigan fan, but you liked Ohio State even for a little bit.
I think it was just his college spin. Like Zeke just I don't know, but like
That's 3 years too long,
I fell in love with Zeke. I don't know.
dude.
It was only Zeke. It was only Zeke. I'm telling you. I watched him like do the natty, bro.
So-
like going crazy.
How did your uncle work for Michigan and get you a lot of Michigan tickets? But
I know.
you were an Ohio
like,
State fan for.
my grandpa went there and
Wow.
everything. Like just I don't know, man.
Oh, and you've done the bombing. Honestly, yes. It's kind of. I never knew this.
You never knew this?
This just adds your
I've told you.
this just adds your bandwagon status.
It's just I mean, I'm
disappointed.
it was just Zeke. It was just him.
I lost my
I don't
trust
know.
He said I lost my trust in you. Honestly,
Dang, man.
I don't know, man. You supposed to be a
Man, it
Michigan
just-
fan. It's not even a thought that you're an Ohio State fan if you're a Michigan fan.
know.
It's like being a
Not
Lions
anymore,
fan.
though.
It's
Not
like
anymore, though, you know.
it's like being an Eagles fan, but saying that you love the Cowboys for 30 years. That's not okay.
Or like Lions fan saying that you like the Packers or
Or
something.
the Bears,
The Bears, actually, yeah, the Bears is probably a better example.
dude, that's horrible. Yeah, honestly, David's upset now. You just piqued David's interest now. He's upset.
Of course, he's a bandwagon Jack. He likes Steph Curry.
Oh yeah, no, I said I brought that up, and then he loves Russell Wilson as well.
Again, just a player, nothing
No.
else.
No, you
Really?
liked Russell Wilson when he won his first Super Bowl. I remember that. Yeah, it's a little bit of it's kind of a bandwagon move right there.
I mean, man, yeah.
Just you disappoint me sometimes.
The more you know, Jack. The more you know.
The more I know.
The
Wow,
more
that
you
just
know.
adds the
The more you
bandwagon
know.
status. Like, I already knew you were a pretty big bandwagon,
Mhm.
but now you just exceeded the level, dude.
I can't.
Who's a more athletic?
Who's more athletic, Hulk or LeBron James?
Dude, give me. So you gotta compare here. Hulk's like a really buff dude and all that. He's really huge.
But athletically,
No, but he jumps so far in the movies. Like he can jump really far and he can do all these things.
that's true. He does.
I got Hulk, dude.
and he's got the lifting.
Dude,
Yeah.
Hulk would be the best. He's like Shaq on steroids, and having a way bigger vertical. I'm gonna have to go with Hulk.
I wonder how he looked on the basketball court.
But you literally have
That'd be funny.
a superhero versus a LeBron James.
That's true.
So I'm gonna have to go with Hulk on that one.
Yep.
Also, our new topic that we were talking about.
What would that say?
He said,
Iguodala.
I want Iguodala. So, yeah, give me
Steph Curry or Iguodala, Jack?
for who's a better 3-point shooter?
No, who you want to take your last shot?
Oh, my last shot.
Yep.
See,
You know what to say, man.
I know what to say.
You know exactly what to say, man.
One shot left, where the Martians have the death beam pointed at Earth. I want Iguodala.
That was what as a Warriors fan watching that was absurd back in the day.
You probably started crying because Curry was.
I was probably like, man. I watched it and I was like, man. My dad said, "What are your thoughts?" I was like, "Man, Steph Curry, bro. Come on."
Did you become suicidal
A little bit.
a little bit?
A little bit. And then, of course, every time Iguodala tried to take like a last shot like that, it never worked out.
Dude,
It never worked out.
no, you're just hating on him. Just because he's not Steph Curry.
And also,
Owen just
biased. Yes, I am biased.
he is.
I mean, if you look at the career in comparison, who really carried who?
I'm still disappointed that you said you were an Ohio State fan for a little bit. That's a little bit too
I
much.
thought I told you, Jack.
No, you never did. This is
Nope.
news to me. This
Nope.
is news.
You
That I
can
didn't
ask.
know
You can
about.
ask my grandpa. You can ask my dad. I think
I'm surprised your dad didn't disown you. To be honest with you,
he was probably close to.
he was probably thinking about it. He was like,
He was probably like, man.
he's probably thinking, I'm not raising an Ohio State fan in here. That's really disappointing to hear.
Like when Zeke didn't get the ball, I just did not care. Like Zeke hand off the ball, like that's it, man. I'm sorry, Jack.
No, that's a lot to really think of. But I'm gonna try to move on.
Breaking news, breaking news right there.
Breaking. Can we get a breaking news? Can somebody clip this? Somebody screen
Put a
record
big
this.
breaking news on the
I
top.
agree with you, Jack, from David. Honestly, I agree with myself as well.
That would be a good opinion indeed. But anyways,
Moving on to our next topic.
yes.
We were talking about this earlier. It was I saw breaking news today. Trey Lance has reportedly been horrible in training camp.
He was,
Supposedly,
where the talent going?
supposedly Brock Purdy is
Lights.
absolutely
Probably lights out, right?
he's performing him by a lot. And, when we're talking, should the 49ers get rid of Trey Lance? Honestly,
Yes.
hear me out. He's going into his third year. He's barely played.
Yes,
He couldn't outplay Jimmy Garoppolo.
that's true.
He got put in, got hurt. So, unfortunate. But
I mean, not outplaying Jimmy Garoppolo to start your career was already a bad sign.
and
Because
when
he's
he
on his downfall.
and when he was
a bit.
playing, he was 1-1 as a starter for his 2 games. But when Brock Purdy comes in,
It's like it was like 6-0 or something. I
He
don't think
leads
he
it-
lost a game.
he leads them to the NFC Championship game.
Which
so-
was, I mean, they should honestly. If Brock Purdy was still in, I think they would have won that game. To be
Yeah.
honest, just
Honestly,
talent on
they would have had a
talent.
chance. They would have had a
Just talent on
chance.
talent, it would have went down to the wire.
That's what happens when you draft the QB from North Dakota. That's what I'm trying to say. He played no competition in college.
I mean, Carson Wentz was pretty evident.
Carson Wentz had like one decent year and then a really good year, and then he just sucked.
But like, that's like 2 years, man. Like,
I know.
out of a QB, you need like at least
Dude,
5.
Lance hasn't even had a good game yet.
isn't even. Yeah, honestly.
Like the game must have
The
been
fact
really
that Brock Purdy was the last pick and is outperforming him.
going
is
from
ridiculous.
North Dakota to the
league.
NFL has got to be the craziest speed difference of all time.
Yeah.
Because like, dude, I heard Dallas Goddard talking about his when he played it for South Dakota,
Mhm.
South Dakota State. Yeah, and he said that there was the safety was 5'8", like 160,
Really?
and he said he pretended to get injured because like he had to get taken off on a stretcher because he pretended he got hurt just so he didn't play against Dallas Goddard.
Really?
And Dallas Goddard, as we know, is like 6'5",
Yes.
huge,
He's scary.
absolute monster.
That sounds like a high school move right there.
I know he said it was just like playing high school,
Yeah, dude.
so that must have been why Lance was so good.
Yeah, because playing
You
against
know,
high school
He
competition.
may have a lot of
Actually, I don't think he played the year before he got drafted. Like, I think that was the year gap. I believe that was him.
and then
Where he literally did not play and then he just went straight to the draft. They just expected him to be absolute godly. And
Like-
the Dolphins obviously won that trade. I mean, they got Jalen Waddle out
like
of it.
you can have all the measurables, the talent, he's a dual threat quarterback supposedly. Like he can throw the ball far and
Supposedly, we haven't even
and he
seen
can-
it yet.
and,
So
he can throw the ball far. He can run really fast, but he just doesn't do the simple things right.
yes,
And that's what Brock Purdy does. That makes him a better quarterback.
yes.
So I think the 49ers should just get rid of him. He's a first-round pick, and it's his 3rd year, and it's really not looking like it's going to work out.
I think you should waive him. I don't think you're going to get anything for him or anything. You keep him just because Sam Darnold is the other option, which they're saying he's going to start week 1.
That's rough.
Which
How does Darnold get opportunity?
people are saying that Darnold is going to try to revive his career
he's
as
trying.
Niner.
That's why he went to the Panthers to try to revive his career.
But I mean, the Niners
He's
would
going
be
to get
the,
the second time.
the Niners would be the place to do it because they have the talent.
Yeah.
But you don't want to waste that if you're the Niners. You do not.
Just develop Brock Purdy and run it back.
Please.
Brock Purdy got you there. It was just the difference between him getting hurt.
You're just gonna waste a game with
Yeah.
Sam Darnold
So
to just see what you've been seeing from the Panthers, the Jets, and everybody else.
I think we can both agree that 49ers should just let him go.
Just start Brock Purdy. Let go of
Don't
Trey
even
Lance.
don't even entertain the idea of starting Darnold. Don't even entertain that.
Don't. And thank God Bryce Young was named the starter week 1 for the Panthers.
Yep.
Thank God nobody else is taking over that. CJ Stroud has not been yet named the starter over Davis Mills.
That's crazy.
Which is ridiculous, but we're just gonna move on. Whatever. Anthony Richardson hasn't even been named starter either over Gardner Minshew and somebody else.
Rumor on the street, he's been tearing up training camp. He's been really good.
Yes. He threw a 60-yard bomb. Did you see that?
To what's his name?
Alex Pierce.
Pierce. Yeah, I was about to say.
Yes, absolute
He's
dog.
absolutely
Absolute
beautiful
dog.
throw. But
Dude, it was like sliding to his left too. I mean, that's a tough.
just
throw.
shows his arm talent. But
Yeah.
this was breaking news just before we started.
Yep.
The New York Mets are trading Max Scherzer to the Texas Rangers.
Not officially yet.
Yeah,
But-
because Max Scherzer still has got to agree with it. But
Yeah.
Max Scherzer is probably going to want out of New York because they're a bad team this year.
And going to the Rangers.
The Rangers are good this year too. That's what I'm about to say. Like, he's going from a bad team to a good team. There's a
Yes.
chance to win a ring. So,
That's true. The Mets were supposed to be something. They're obviously nothing. Just like every
I
year.
think this trade's going to go through.
Yes, I think
And-
it will.
I mean, there's not really too much to say about that except for that the Mets have had a really underwhelming year.
Was there any details of like
No, there was no
what's
details
going on? Okay.
because it just got proposed and
Okay,
it just got accepted. So
Oh, okay.
if
so
he fully accepts it, then details will come
Details
out.
will come out. But
But I think those are all the topics I have.
those are all the topics you got.
Yep.
All right, you guys want to hear anything?
Yeah.
Anything at all. Just
We were
say in
talking
the
about
chat.
having a story time, but couldn't think of any stories today.
Not really, no. I guess just wait for
Interesting. Lots to talk about today, though. There's a lot to talk
definitely
about.
an NFL Top 100.
Yep.
Absolutely absurd. It's probably going to keep going. Wonder where Aaron Donald's going to land. That's going to be crazy. When that drops, I don't know what I'm going to do, man. I don't know if I'll punch a hole through the wall or
Could become an Ohio State fan again.
maybe. I don't know. I really don't know, man. It could happen.
Honestly,
I don't know.
Dude, you should be getting flamed right now for being an Ohio State fan as a Michigan fan.
I was. Oh, here we go.
Oh, we got a question. Just think. Let's wait when it pops up. Give it a second.
That's kind of weird how yours
Aaron
is a little
Rodgers.
delayed.
Will Aaron Rodgers on Jets be successful? I believe so.
Yes.
I
Just because Garrett Wilson reminds me a little bit of Devontae Adams and the threat he is.
yeah. and
So,
that's a complete upgrade from going from Christian Watson to Garrett Wilson.
that is another guy that has been tearing it up in camp, apparently.
Yeah.
It's Christian Watson.
With Jordan Love, this is quarterback.
That's not going to go over well. People are saying, like, Jordan Love could be crazy, but
What
no.
was the best moment of your sports career? I'd probably say for me, definitely qualifying for the state meet this year for track and the 3,200 meter. I wasn't projected going into it to be even top 5 for the regionals, like before track season. But then, I worked my way up. I grinded, stuck with it, believed in myself, and
Grinding on all that.
qualified for the state meet and broke the school record. Yeah,
That's-
all in one meet. So
That's a great moment. That's a
Yeah.
great moment indeed.
it was great. People ran up to me after and were congratulating me. So that was a lot of fun. All in
Mhm.
horrible rainy weather. So
Yep.
that's got to be my favorite. But let's go to you.
That's a tough one. I'd probably say making the varsity team. In basketball, I was really achieved. Last year, of course, I barely made it. Pretty much is what the signs told me of the team and where I was at in the depth chart. But it was definitely achieving. To think that I am like a top 15 player
in the school.
in the school.
All of Chippewa Valley, yes.
Of Chippewa Valley High School, which is the second biggest population-wise school
In Michigan.
in Michigan,
Behind Dakota.
behind Dakota, of course.
But I mean,
And I didn't say biggest school because I was corrected that many
schools are bigger than ours,
many
but
schools are
the
bigger,
population, though, is different.
which I think Chippewa should probably expand just because of how many students, how crowded those hallways are
Ooh.
until the seniors leave. I
Well,
mean, we're going to
dude.
be the seniors leaving this year,
Yeah.
but like still. I think it's crazy. But yeah, that's definitely, I think, the biggest moment.
You trying to crack the starting lineup this year?
That's the hope.
Nope.
That's the hope.
Gonna be the white boy who stands in the corner and shoots threes.
Probably. That's the 3-and-D. They
3-and-D.
always look for those guys. Like guy like Josh Hart who can just shoot 3-pointer kinda, and then play defense. That's probably gonna be my
You can
role.
never go wrong with defense.
You can never go wrong with defense. Indeed, defense wins championships. That is exactly.
Any other questions you guys got? Probably
Yeah,
sit
we'll
here
give
for a little bit
We'll
longer.
give it another minute. Any other questions? Anything you could ask us, personal questions. It doesn't matter. Anything.
Also, if you guys haven't, make sure to like and follow all of our socials and all that.
Yep. If you're new, subscribe. Are the Chiefs past their prime?
Honestly, I'm gonna say no.
No. As long as they have
There's,
Mahomes.
as long as they have Mahomes, they always
I
have a
think as
fighting
long as they have
chance.
Mahomes and Kelsey, or at least like a duo to go with Mahomes,
Yeah.
they'll be fine.
I
And at
agree.
least a decent defense.
And Isaac Pacheco in the 7th round, it was a steal.
Was an absolute steal.
So I think
It's like the fantasy draft where like you draft that rookie and he just absolutely goes crazy.
yeah, he was an exception. If Owen gets curly hair, he will be Larry Bird. He will be like Larry Bird. All right.
Honestly.
Larry Bird's like 6'9", but I've seen weirder things. Oh no, it's like this.
Is it like
No,
this?
It's like no, he's like this and like that,
Like and then he like flicks that way,
like that.
like that.
Mhm.
So kind of just
See, I've done my Larry Bird research. Up high, bang.
because remember he got took in that elbow. You gotta get it in
Ooh,
there.
Chiefs-aholic return. Don't diss Larry like that. Well, I'm not dissing Larry. That jump shot's beautiful.
We're just
I'm
we're just trying to demonstrate
I'm
the
demonstrating what it
Larry
looks like.
Bird's jump shot.
Dude, it's super tough to contest.
It is. It's kind of like Jokic's.
Well, the Chiefs-aholic return. What does that mean?
The Chiefs-aholic return.
I don't know what that
You're
is.
gonna have to elaborate on that question.
Oh, elaborate. You mean like Chiefs like super fans like Owen for Steph Curry or like
Yeah.
Right,
The Chiefs-aholic return.
I don't really
Sounds
know
like alcoholic. I know.
Yeah. The fan who
Dresses as the bear.
see, I don't know what he's talking about. If I'm being completely honest here,
There is some crazy fans of the Chiefs. There's a lot. There's some that I think dress as Vikings, which kind of doesn't make sense sometimes.
I've seen some dudes dress. I've seen a dude dress as Andy Reid.
Really?
Yeah.
You got arrested for a bank robbery?
What?
No, I'm gonna have to do my research after this or right now.
That's actually wild.
Hold on.
Dude got arrested for bank robbery. He's a
What's his name?
Chiefs-aholic.
Chiefs-aholic. Let's look this up on Twitter.
Dude, no
There's
way.
probably a ton of. Chiefs.
You got arrested for a bank robbery. Are you talking about like a bank robbery in GTA or like like?
Oh, why did I put it? Why did that put there?
Hashtag Owen can't spell.
Just kidding.
Oh, let's check how our recent videos are doing.
I guess he did because there's one post that says Chiefs-aholic showing up at Arrowhead Week 1 trying to avoid the feds. 1% chance, 99% faith. I can't do this story justice.
I can't do the story though. All right, you guys got any more?
Just noticed that Chiefaholic made a cameo in quarterback. What? I don't. No Chiefaholic LMA.
You guys got any other questions that me and Owen would be more
Yeah,
familiar
any
with? That's fun. Dude got arrested for robbing a bank.
Literally robbing a bank, bro.
Dude, that's so random.
It is-
0.1% luck.
No, it was 1% chance, 99% faith.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
99% he avoids faith. He avoids the Fed, just avoiding the feds.
Yep.
1% chance he'll show up week 1. That's great. If we see him week 1,
Oh,
dude, that's
they're
the
playing
Lions too. Yeah, that'd be sick.
It's at it's at Arrowhead,
I think
right?
we're gonna try to cover that game. Yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna
Try
try
to.
to, but
try to.
we got some interesting people.
of
as
course.
yeah,
A score, school night, all that.
school night. Yeah,
God, school,
hey,
man.
man, it's our first. It's gonna be our first Friday of senior year. I think we can just
Probably.
we
I
could
don't
just
know.
I mean,
Stay. Come on, man.
yeah, I mean,
First couple hours.
it's not that big of a deal for me.
Do you see the Chargers schedule announcement video? No, we did not.
Oh wait, I think I did.
I did not.
I heard it was like crazy, but yeah, I don't remember it too much, to be completely honest with
Because
you.
those schedule videos are kind of funny. Detroit's last year was what was it? I don't know what his name is.
I'm be honest, I don't pay attention to those.
It was like it was the police guy that does the eyebrow raise and then shows you how to defend yourself. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
What's his name?
yeah,
What's his name?
Detroit
I can't
Urban
think of it.
self-defense dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. He was there and he
I don't watch any of those videos, so I'm not really
was
sure.
defend from the Vikings.
Defend from the
It's something like that. It was so stupid. But probably not. I'm gonna probably watch that now.
Dude, I'm
Chargers.
curious now.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious, because some of them are really funny, and then some of them are just plain.
Yeah, some of them are really boring.
Yeah, because it's
Dude,
it's more of state reference.
Dude, they should have got one with DJ Khaled. That would have been funny.
God, dude.
God, dude, life is Roblox.
Which NFL team will be the biggest bust this season? Ooh.
It's kind of tough to put on the spot, but
Bills.
yeah,
I got it.
I don't want to say the Bills because that's a
Say
great
an
answer.
NFC team.
NFC team.
I'm gonna say the Bills.
No.
I'll let you think.
I don't
I'll
wanna
spit
say
out some facts, but the Bills. Listen, they didn't really add a ton. Josh Allen's on the cover of Madden. I really think the Madden curse is a thing, and Josh Allen would be one of those to get cursed.
I think the Vikings are going to be a bust.
A big bust
Yes.
from last year, of course. They're 13 wins, right?
Yep. I think they're going to be probably the biggest bust on the NFC side.
Jordan Addison was looking pretty good in practice.
That's wonderful. That's one player though.
Justin Jefferson, you already know.
It's two players.
The thing is,
Dude,
they were talking about it. I was watching.
Bro, their defense.
I was
got
watching
gutted.
something. I forget when. I think it was either today or yesterday. But it was, can Justin Jefferson really elevate his game crazily from last year? Because he caught for 1,800 yards.
I mean, if you have a Calvin Johnson type season,
I mean, he would literally have to go for 2,000 yards in order to to take a step.
you'd have to probably win the Triple Crown.
Yes, probably. That's the only way he could step up.
Yeah, I mean it's tough to really improve when you're.
It's kind of scary now to draft him in fantasy. Hearing that, but I'm still going to take him if I have top 3 pick, for sure.
if he falls to
If he
anywhere
falls to
for
3,
3 or
if he
2.
falls to 2, even. But
Any other questions?
yeah, any other questions? We'll take one more question if you guys got it,
Yeah.
because hour and 30 sounds like a solid stopping point.
Yeah. Another great day on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Can't believe we made it to 10 days. I mean, 10 episodes.
10 episodes, yeah, 10. I was gonna say 10 days. Doing this for a lot longer than 10 days, man.
Yes.
It's been crazy.
We've really
It's been
been
a
putting in effort since July 2nd.
I'm gonna check out
June 2nd.
the video wall.
All right. Also, guys, in our new YouTube short, does Owen have a cranium-shaped head?
It's what is that?
It's at 7 views.
It's at 7 views,
Yeah.
256 on TikTok. So it's kind of dying down, but not really.
How many is that? 270?
256.
All right.
And then it's at 8 views. It says
All right.
602 for the baseball one.
All right, guys. See you. Bye, David. Yep. See you, David. I think that's at the
I'll
hour
see you,
30 mark.
David,
I think. Is Jalen Brown getting overpaid?
We
kinda
talked
already talked about that.
We talked about that earlier, but
Short story. I think he is over. He's getting overpaid, but I think I like
In
it
the
just
long
because it's gonna get other players are getting paid even more than that. So he just reset the bare minimum that these superstars are going to want
Yeah.
when they get their new contract.
And basically, he's upping it for the future,
Yes,
not just for himself. But okay.
I think that's it. I think that's a good point to stop off at. Thanks for
But,
everybody
yes.
showing up.
Yes, this was episode 10 of the All American Valley Boys. Yes, number 10. Number 11 will come out shortly, and then we got to take a break because I'm leaving.
Yep.
So that episode 11, we're going to get that out for you guys before I leave.
Yep.
And, but do you think, what if there was like a podcast where we like did it by ourselves?
I don't know how I do that.
Or do you think like
I don't know how I would
that'd
do
be
that.
interesting?
It'd be it'd be interesting to do, but yeah.
That's true.
All right.
But
All American Valley Boys out.
All American Valley Boys are signing off. We will see you guys on the other side.